so we have to get around, but also focus on the practicality of making the move and how we're going to make the move stepwise to make this happen and everything that's going to be involved. And when you look at this from a cost perspective, certainly a FinOps perspective, you have to consider all in. I always talk about the all in costs of migration. And I think people have a tendency not necessarily to understand what that is. And normally it's going to be very expensive versus, doing nothing. And by the way, that's something that the enterprises need to consider. In other words, what is this going to cost me now? Well, how much money is going to come out of my budget in this year, versus remaining on the cloud platform? And some enterprises, in many cases, will remain on the cloud platform because it's the path of least cost. So even though they want to move off the platform, they're kind of held hostage by default because they figured out that if they, make the migration, certainly in this year, they don't have the budgetary support to make that happen. So they just stay where they are and pay the additional fees. It's certainly an acceptable strategy. It's a little concerning to me because in essence, what we're doing is working around our mistakes, but it's something that enterprises do. Well, interesting topic. I think that we're going to be revisiting this a lot over the next few years as people are, migrating off of cloud to AI-friendly platforms, things like that. And as the sovereign clouds and the managed service providers, the co-location providers, pick up steam, which they are now. They're doing great, by the way. Look at the growth of those companies versus the public cloud providers and the momentum in the marketplace, where we're going to be asking the question, what about these fees and why should we pay them? And